Hey lovelies, welcome back. It's your girl Katie here, and today's video is going to be a first impression / review of some products that I recently picked up from Glamlite. So I picked up some products that they recently relaunched, and these are from their Lord of the Rings collection or collaboration, whichever you want to call it. So I picked up a couple of products, and I thought I would just go ahead and do a review on them and also show you guys the products and give my first impression. But to no further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. Alright, so obviously I didn't pick up the whole collection, so if you're curious as to what is in the collection, I will tell you. So of course they have the palette, which is what I picked up, one of the items. Then they had the Eye of Sauron lip kit, they had the Rivendell lip kit, and then the One Ring highlighter, which I did pick up. Then they had an Evanstar lip treatment and a bag that they came out with. I only chose to get 2 of the products just because the other ones just weren't really things that I thought I would use. I'm trying, even though I do not need another eyeshadow palette or a highlighter, I know I will use these both. But the other things like the Eye of Sauron lip kit, the colors just weren't shades that I could see myself wearing, as well as the Rivendell lip kit. I don't use lip treatment stuff, so the Evanstar lip treatment wasn't interesting to me, and the bag was cute, but I would never use it. Anyways, you can see all this stuff on their website. Anyways, the main reason why I picked up these 2 products is I'm a very big Lord of the Rings fan. That was like my childhood. I was a kid when the movies came out, loved them, thought they were the coolest thing ever. Anyway, so that's really the main reason why I got these products, is more of nostalgia. Anyways, as for the extra products, so let me get pricing out of the way, and then we will get on into the trying on part. The highlighter cost $18, and the palette cost $38, which is a pretty penny for makeup, but I will say the quality of the packaging is really nice. So let's start with the highlighter. So it comes in this nice like packaging box. It's not the actual product, but I thought the box was like very pretty. And I will say, when I've never bought anything, like this is my first time buying stuff from Glamlite, and I will say everything was super well packaged. Like there was so much bubble wrap in the box, and I actually appreciate that, because then I was like, wow, they actually care if the product gets to you in one piece. Because some brands I've bought from, and there's just like paper in there, maybe, just, you know, it just seems like they put some effort into making sure everything stayed safe. So here is the actual highlighter. The packaging is kind of that tin feeling. I will say this box packaging is way better than the, I don't know, this is cute. Okay, there's Gollum in there, if you can see, if my camera will focus. Gollum's in there, it's cute. And then the actual highlighter looks like this. I will say it does look like super glittery, which I'm not super impressed by. It didn't look that way. I don't know, maybe it did. It's very glittery, so I'll give you a swatch and then I'll try it on. So it's very gold and very glittery. So first impressions, I'm not like super thrilled with the highlighter. I don't like highlighters that are super glittery, but again, I did pick this up for nostalgia reasons, honestly. But there it is swatch. I mean, it is super blinding, but like I said, it is very kind of glittery. But we'll see how it does on the face. Alright, and then I'll show you the palette. So again, the palette is in a very nice box packaging. I'm honestly thinking about keeping the box packaging just because it's, you know, it's super cool. So the palette comes with 28 colors. It does come with a really big size mirror, and then here's the actual palette. So it does have like a pretty nice like layout. I like that the shimmers are all on like one row, and then you got the mattes. I've never, I don't know if I mentioned, I think I did mention this in the beginning. I've never tried out Glamlite's products, so I'm not familiar with their formula, but I've always been curious to try them out. So I'll do a couple of swatches. Ooh, it is there. I'm doing like a couple of the shimmers here. The shimmers do feel really creamy. I was afraid they were going to be like that dry, because they look kind of like those dry foil kind of shimmers. Let's do a green here. I'm going to do a couple of the mattes. Alright, so there's glitter left on from that highlighter, but whatever. That one feels nice. So they're swatching pretty nice. Let me show you first which one I'm swatching. So I'm swatching Rivendell over here. Hold on, let me do it this way so I can see what I'm doing. So I swatched Rivendell, I switched Arwen, I swatched, is it Bilbo? No, Samwise here, and then Gollum over here. Those are the 4 that I picked to swatch, and then here are the swatches. So we have Gollum, Samwise, Rivendell, and Arwen, I think. Yes. Alright, so now I'm going to actually try out the products on my face. So let's start off first with the highlighter. Again, I wasn't blown away with the look of this highlighter. On the website, it really didn't look this glittery, at least not to me. Maybe I didn't look at it hard enough. So if I had known it was super glittery, I may not have picked it up, just because personal preference, I don't like glittery highlighters. But let's see how it applies. Maybe that's the top layer. It could be a top layer thing. Hopefully it is. Because sometimes some products, I don't know why they do this, they do like a top layer of just sparkle. I don't know why. And then as you get through it, it's not that way throughout the entire highlighter. Which, honestly, looking at this, the middle doesn't look as sparkly as like the outer edges does. And that's because that's where I've swatched. So I'm hoping it's not all glittery, but we'll see. So, first impressions. Alright, here we go. Oh, that is too dark for me. Oh no. It's very gold. And I don't think this is going to work too well for my skin tone because I'm so pale. Well, I'm not like super pale, but I'm pretty fair skinned. Yeah, that's sad. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't be too dark for me, but it's looking like it's gonna be. But it actually is pretty blinding though. Yeah, I can just see it sitting on my skin. Let me do the other side. So I'm gonna look a little crazy. And I will say it's like almost got like a green. Or is my eyes playing tricks on me? It really kind of looks green almost. I really don't want to put this on my nose. I normally highlight my nose, but you see how when I just turn, you can just see it? Like, you can just see it. I feel like it looks green. Does it look green? Am I going crazy? It looks green to me. But I will say it's very glowy. You know how I feel like, I guess it is technically a gold. It is gold. It's probably just looking green because it's on my skin. But that is probably gold. Like, the color gold. I kind of look like the character from Once Upon a Time. If anybody has seen that show, I feel like Gold. I think that's what his name is, Gold. Yeah, Mr. Gold. I think that's what they called him. But when he's in his Dark Lord or whatever form, that's what I feel like right now. Anyways, back to the product. I will say the shimmer is not horrible. It's just it's the color. I think it is kind of got one of those first layers of spray on there because it's not overly glittery on my face. Alright, so I'm going to look a little crazy for the rest of the video. I kind of want to wipe this off because it looks horrible on me. Alright, so I kind of wiped off most of the highlighter and then put on another highlighter. There's still a little bit of that gold peeking through, but I don't look so crazy now. So first impressions, packaging is pretty nice. For what you pay for it, you're paying for the nostalgia, honestly. Like when it comes to packaging, like the box packaging is really nice feeling. I mean, it's cardboard, but you know, it's cool that you get a nice box packaging. Even though most people like throw away the box packaging, you could keep it in there. And it would be a good display piece. But as for this packaging, it's not bad. It's the tin stuff, but it doesn't feel like top quality, if that makes sense. The design on it is really cool. And now for the actual product, it's just not for my skin tone, unfortunately. So it's not a universal shade. I would assume this would look really pretty on people that have darker complexions than me. I could see this probably working out. Like I said, the top layer is that shimmer, but it seems like it's not the entire highlighter, at least from what I can tell. There may be a little bit of shimmer, but it does not as heavy looking as the actual like top layer looks. It's very, very pigmented, I will say that. Like it did not take that much to get that on my face. So unfortunately this product is just not for me, not for my skin tone, but it is a nice product. Like the formula is decent, like nice. Yeah, that's all I have to really say about it. I'm disappointed that it didn't work out for me, but it's still good nonetheless. Just not for my skin tone, not for my pale ass. Alright, so now moving on to the palette. Hopefully this product will work out for me, which I'm assuming it will. These shades look like they could work for anybody. So, let's go in with, I don't know what shade to go in with first. There's definitely a lot of greens in here, which is not bad, but you know me. I'm a basic girl. I like my neutrals. So, I will say this palette is definitely outside of my comfort zone, but I can make it work. I don't know if I want to go into the shade Pippin here because it looks very yellowy brown, and sometimes these yellow browns can be really domineering, I guess, in a look. So I don't know if I want to go in that as my transition shade. I'm kind of wanting to go for this purple here. So I think I might go in with this purple. Even Star. So let's go in with that. Let's change it up a little bit. I don't normally do super colorful looks. Not that I don't think they're pretty, I just don't ever think they look super good on me. I dipped in about twice and then tapped off the excess. Now I'm just going to dust that out all over my lid. It's definitely a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be, and there's a fuzzy on my brush. Like I said, I thought it was going to be a little bit darker. I will say, I don't know, it's not bad, but maybe I'm not, like I said, I don't use shades like these kind of color shades very often, so maybe this is typical. It's pigmented, but I am having to build it up, if that makes sense. I don't know, it might have to do with the shade, like it being so light, it does seem like chalky. Does that make sense? Maybe this is not the good, like maybe I shouldn't have gone in with the shade first. I don't know. I feel like I'm really having to build it up. Because like in the pan, it's this shade right here. In the pan it just, I don't know, I guess it is kind of an ashy purple shade. Alright, so, I don't know. First impressions of that, just the one shade, I don't like the shade, honestly. I think I just picked the wrong shade. It just looks, I don't know, it just makes my eyes look kind of ashy. I feel like it's turning more gray than staying purple, but maybe it just has to do with my eyelid color, so I want to go in with a different shade before I get too judgy of it, because so far that one shade, I don't like it, but then again, you know me, I like my neutrals. Maybe I should have gone in with Pippin instead. Anyways, I think I'm going to take on a smaller brush, which I need to grab. On a little bit of a smaller, I wish they had a dark purple to go with this. Light purple shade, but they don't. So I'm going to go in with Gollum over here and kind of try to deepen up the crease a little bit. Did you guys see it? This shade right here. Formula-wise, it's not the most pigmented, but again, it could have to do with that shade. I don't play with those types of shades very often, so maybe pastel kind of colors are just kind of ones you have to build up that might not be uncommon. So we'll see how this next shade performs. Like I said, I'm going in with Gollum. I'm gonna just kind of deepen up the crease here, maybe to kind of give it some depth. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm not like a professional makeup artist or anything. I'm just trying to help it because I don't like how it's looking right now. So I'm just trying to find a color that will go with that pastel purple or pale purple, whatever you want to call it. This shade does seem to be performing better than that one that I just put on did. And honestly, after I'm putting this in there, that other shade seems to be kind of disappearing. I don't know. I don't really see the pastel purple anymore, and I've just been putting it in the crease. I didn't, mess with it down here. I don't know, maybe that shade's just kind of janky. Did I just create my own color here? Because I feel like that Gollum shade was not very purple. I thought it was kind of more brown, but it's looking like a dark purple now. I feel like I am having to work kind of, not really hard to blend, but my arm is actually getting sore from sitting here doing this, which is probably really sad because that just goes to show how out of shape I am if my arm's getting tired from doing this. Who knew putting makeup on could be such a workout? Alright, so I think, I don't know, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Alright, come on, shimmer, save the day. Since I'm going with the purple theme, might as well stick with it. So I think I'm going to go into this shade right here, which is called the Fellowship. It does look like it's one of those chromes, so it's probably going to have a shift to it, but from here it looks purple, but then when I put it up to the camera, it almost looks gray, this one here. So we'll see. Anyways, going in with this, the shimmers do feel really nice. I think they're super creamy feeling. It's a really pretty shade. Anyways, come on, shimmer. Ooh, that is pretty. Shimmers always save the day. Yeah, that is super cool. Not like cold-wise, but like cool looking. I can't tell what the shift is. Blue, purple. It's hard to tell from my lighting. I'm sure on camera you might see the shift a little better. All I'm seeing is just purple and blue. Alright, so that one's, I like that. It is not dark, but then I'm going to go into Arwen over here. And I'm going to put that kind of more in the inner corner here. I'm just trying to use up as many shades as I can just to play with the palette. Ooh, that one has like a very pink shift to it. That's cool, and my eye's twitching. Oh yeah, that one does definitely have like a foil effect. It's kind of weird and cool at the same time. But you can definitely see that pink shift. That is pretty cool. This is definitely not a look that I would probably wear every day. Probably special occasions. Alright. But I do... So, first impression so far, the mattes are not like the best in the world. The shimmers are definitely very nice and very like pigmented, as you can tell. But I will say the two matte shades I tried, the first one, that pale purple, I don't like. I I don't know exactly what's wrong with it. It's just not very pigmented, I guess. And it just, I don't know, once I applied that other shade on top, it just kind of seemed to go away. Like I don't see it anymore. I just see the dark matte shade that I placed. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of my eyes off camera just to speed things up, and then I will give you guys my final thoughts on the products. Alright, I'm back. Eyes are finished. I did go ahead and use 2 more shades in the palette just to try them out. So I used the black shade over here called Sauron, and then I use this shade called Galadriel as like my inner corner highlight. Also put it under my brow bone, so that's what those shades are. The black worked really well as like eyeliner. That's what I used it for. It's just like an eyeliner look, and the inner corner is pretty beaming, but it's one of those shades you have to pick up with your fingertip, because I tried using like just a flat brush here to pick it up and put it in my inner corners, and it just was not picking it up very well, like very little. And I mean, I was dipping in there, but sometimes for some reason those lighter shimmer shades just, I don't know why. Actually, it's not just the shimmer shade. I don't know why flat brushes like this, I've never used a brush to apply shimmer shades, because just using your fingertip just works so much better. And I don't know if it's just the way these flat brushes are made or what, but they just, for me, they never pick them up. So I just always go in with my fingertip. But anyways, so just for your information. Anyways, alright, so final review on everything. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think these products are worth picking up full price. So I think really what you're paying for is the nostalgia of it being a Lord of the Rings collection. The highlighter formula is fine, like it's really pigmented and it went on and it was obviously beaming and stuff, but the shade is not for everyone, I don't think. Didn't work out for me, so I would assume the other, unless you just like seeing it sit on your face like that. I don't. I like a highlighter that you can't really see until I turn and the light catches it. I don't like highlighters that you can just see like the streak of just the color of it on. But that's just a personal preference. Maybe some people like that. And if you like that, then yeah, go for it. It's a very gold shade. I would assume it would look very pretty on darker skin tones, but I mean, if anybody of darker skin tone has bought this and tried this, let me know down in the comments. Does it look good on you, or is it just not a good shade? I don't know. Anyway, so that's what I have to say about the highlighter. As for the actual eyeshadow palette, I don't know, $38 for this. Again, I think it's just mostly for the nostalgia of it being Lord of the Rings. I wasn't really blown away with the mattes. The shimmers, or I wouldn't even call these shimmers, I'd call them foils. They're really pigmented and they're very, like, you see them on your lid. Am I really happy with how my look turned out? Not necessarily, but I think it's because I don't know, I'm drawn to the colors purple because I really like the color purple, but I don't feel like purple looks really good on me, and I'm not sure why. I don't know if it's my skin tone or my eye color, or maybe it's just I'm not used to wearing the color purple. I don't know. Y'all have to let me know in the comments. Does this look good? Did I do okay? Because I just feel like it doesn't look great. But the foils, or shimmers, whatever you want to call them, they're really nice. I will say they're good quality. It's the mattes that I have an issue with. That light purple, it didn't work. Like, I can't see it anymore. I even tried using it on my bottom lash line. It's just not showing up. Maybe I'm too pale. But I just feel like the more I blended it, the more it just didn't show up. This shade worked okay, but I feel like it was a little bit of a work to get it to blend. I feel like I had to sit there and blend it for a while to get it to look the way I wanted to. So I just feel like these are not the easiest shades to use. The darker shade was way more pigmented, obviously. But yeah, just not super easy to use. I am curious about the other shades. The black, it did work just fine for what I wanted it. I just did eyeliner. and it was very pigmented, and I got the eyeliner effect that I wanted. So do I think it's worth it? No. I mean, I don't know. If you don't have any other palette, then yeah, I don't think there's any harm in picking this up. But I don't know if I would recommend this palette over like other eyeshadow palettes. I just don't know if the quality is worth $38. But there you go, guys. That is going to do it for today. That is my first impressions / review of some of the products from the Lord of the Rings collection from Glamlite. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up because that really does help on my channel, and also let me know down in the comments what you guys thought of my review today. But other than that, I hope you guys have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye!